Hi, how are you? I'm so glad to see you again. Trying to buckle up my seatbelt. Safety first, you know? I'm so glad you're back. My name is Pastor Harrison, and this is TFC in the Car. My name is Harrison, and I am a pastor of emerging generations at TFC, which just means that I'm a pastor for kids and for youth. And I know that you are probably spending time in the backseat of the car, and I know it can be boring back here. You might have books or toys or a tablet or other things going on, but nothing wrong with a little bit more to do in the backseat of a car. And so I'm so glad that you're back for episode 2 of TFC in the Car, and I'm glad that I can be with you and hopefully keep you from being bored. The first thing that we're always going to do when we have TFC in the car is we're going to take our 2 hands just like this, wiggle your fingers, put them right here on your belly, and take a deep breath into your nose and out through your mouth. One more time, into your nose and out through your mouth. Good job. That just helps us to calm our body, to kind of recognize where our bodies are. Maybe we can listen a little bit better after we're able to do that. But in our first episode of TFC in the Car, if you haven't seen it, one of the things that we do at the end of the video is we say our affirmation together, our blessing together. And one of the lines in that affirmation and that blessing is, there are people here who love and support you. There are people here who love and support you. And I was thinking about that this week because here for you is different than here for me, right? We're both in back seats of the car. Maybe I don't actually know if you're in the car or not, but we're in the car, and I don't know where your there is, and you don't really know where my there is. And so when we say there are people here who love and support you, who do we mean? Who is that they? What is this here? Because I do think it's true. I do think that wherever you are, wherever your car is, wherever you are right now watching TFC in the Car, there are people who love and support you. And the reason that I know that is because I love you and I support you. Like I said, one of my jobs is I am a pastor of emerging generations. I'm a pastor for children and for youth. And one of my jobs in that as being a pastor is to make sure that the world is better, safer, healthier for you. I want the world to be better for you so that as you're growing up, the world keeps getting better and better, because the world is better today than it was 20 years ago or 100 years ago or 500 years ago. It's healthier, it's safer, and I want that to continue to be true for you. And so part of my job is to help make the world better. And if I'm in a room of people and it's all adults, it's all grown-ups, and there are no kids, part of my job is to say, hey, how does this impact kids? How does this impact teenagers? Because that's what I do. I'm a pastor. I advocate. I try to make the world a better place for you. And so when we say there are people here who love and support you, one of the people that I'm talking about is me. I love you and I support you. If there are other pastors in your life, hopefully they love and support you, your family. And that's one of the other places, right? Our families, they all look different. My family looks different than your family. But there are people in your family who love and support you. And not just the people in your family that you know, but there have been people in your family, grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents and great-great-great-great-grandparents for greats and greats and greats and greats for hundreds of years. And they dreamed and they imagined the world that you lived in today, right? They thought about their kids and their kids' kids and there's kids, and that's you. You are their kids. And they are so proud of you because the world today is safer and healthier and better than it was when they were alive, and you are able to do things like ride in the back of a car and watch a video that they'd never imagined of being able to do. And so they are so proud of you, even if people you've never even met. They worked hard so that you could have a life that was good, that you could have a life that was abundant. Abundant is this word that means like overflowing, like so much that it's too much to hold together, and it's abundant and it's more and it's overflowing. They wanted you to have an abundant life, a good life. And they love you and they support you, and they had dreams where they imagined what life might be like in 20 years and 50 years and 100 years and 200 years and 1,000 years. They dreamed of what that might look like, and you are that dream. You are the stuff of dreams. There are people here who love and support you, and you are the stuff of dreams. Remember last week we read this book, right? We read this book, I Am, Affirmations for Resilience. And there are all these different things in here where you took different poses, different stances with your body and your hands. And you said things, well, I want us to do one more of those together. Okay, this wasn't in the book, but this is just something for us, right? And what you do is take your arms and just wrap them around yourself and give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug because there are people here who love and support you. I want you to give yourself a hug. And I want you to say, I am the stuff of dreams. One more time, say, I am the stuff of dreams. Give yourself one more big hug. And I want you to remember that no matter where your here is, no matter where you are, whether you're in the car or maybe you're not in the car, wherever you are, there are people who love and support you and want you to have an abundant life, a life that is overflowing with good. Because God made you on purpose, right? That's something else we say in our affirmation, that God made you on purpose. God looked at you and said, this is exactly who I want to make. God loves you. There are people here who love you and support you. You can have an abundant life, a life that is overflowing with good because you are the stuff of dreams. That's all I want to tell you this week. It's so fun to think about if you have grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents, the number of people that is grows so quickly. If you have time this week, sit down and draw like a family tree. Get somebody in your family to help you. You can draw yourself, just one person, right? Then parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents. If you have aunts and uncles and cousins, you can add them in there and see how big the number, how quickly the number grows. Just like a tree. You're at the bottom, right, with the trunk. Then all of a sudden it just grows into so many people who love you and support you and who had dreams and imagined a world that you could be in. A world that could be abundant with life. A world that you can continue to make better and safer and healthier for the people who come next. Because that's part of our job, right? And so like I said, at the end of the video, we always say our affirmation. But before we do that, I want us one more time to take your hands just like this. Wiggle those fingers. Put them right here on your belly. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth. One more time, in through your nose. And out through your mouth. All right. And this is our affirmation. This is our blessing. So you can repeat after me, okay? It goes like this. It goes, God made me on purpose. There are people here who love me and support me. Today I can be my authentic self. Include someone and disrupt what hurts others, just as Jesus showed me. Okay, thank you so much for coming back for another episode of TFC in the Car. We will be back next week. Every Wednesday, these videos come out, so make sure to look out for them. Whoever is up there in the front seat, whoever's in the front seat, don't forget we're on Facebook and YouTube. You can find us on the website to download us at thefaithcommunity.org. Don't forget about our Facebook group if you want to keep having conversations through the week about the stuff that we're talking about in TFC in the Car. And I hope to see you soon, okay? Be safe. I'll see you next week.